Look, family, I've been waiting all day to have this conversation with y'all. And the most exhilarating game of the weekend, Colorado, down by 11 points in the fourth quarter, coached by Deion Sanders. He needs no introduction. Prime, that's all you got to say. They rallied all the way back. Travis Hunter, one of the best players in college football, he's out for the next several weeks. He has like a lacerated liver, something like that. Beyond that, Deion Sanders, 4 touchdowns in double overtime. They got the dub. It was like 1 a.m. on the East Coast, maybe 2 by the time the game ended. It was a crazy game. This is why you do sports television, because of responses to games like the one we witnessed. James, I want to ask you first, man, because I told you on Friday, I said, those games can't matter. Yeah. Colorado versus Oregon, Colorado versus USC. I said, those games can't matter if this game doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm watching the game literally, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, y'all realize if Colorado loses to Colorado State, like, that's it.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. There's no more big noon kickoffs.
Nothing.
There's no more Prime on this show, Shador on that show. That's it. This is how it ends. Yeah. If they lose, this is how it ends. Deion Sanders said in his post-game interview, James, he said, I thought during the third quarter, there's no way we can lose to these guys. He said that. He's like, in the third quarter, I said to myself, there's no way we can lose to these guys.
That press conference is going to be terrible.
It was going to be terrible. They didn't lose.
Yeah.
They won. What's your biggest takeaway?
Well, I mean, I think that was all of us watching the games, too. I know Prime ain't about to lose today. That's how I was watching it. But this right here, man, I know we wanted Colorado to come out here and win by 20 and, you know, really beat these boys up. But at the end of the day, I've been in games like this to where this breeds confidence in your football team, right? Because we got to believe the schedule that they have coming up, the games are going to be close.
Yes, they are.
Right? Or you might even be down 10.
Yes.
And you just came out of a game like this to where you really wasn't supposed to win that game. On 10, they're going to be sitting on the sideline like, hey, man, we was in this situation in Colorado State. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? The confidence that they're going to have. Same with Prime. Same with the coaches. Like, listen, our quarterback is going to make the right play. Dude is special.
Yep.
Shador is special. I don't care what nobody says. I know everybody talking Caleb Wood. Shador is special. Ball in his hands, I don't feel like he is going to make a mistake with the football. And with that being said, when you have him under center, you got a chance to win every single game. And I know the players feel like they got a chance to win every single game. But this was special because this is how you build championship football teams. You need to find a way to win football games like this. Every one is not going to be a blowout. And if we could come back or we could win these close games, that's how you build championship football teams. I was proud of Colorado.
That drive at the end puts confidence in players that is very tangible.
I'm telling you.
It's great to have...
No fingerprints? I'm just going to leave fingerprints on
there. We got you.
Y'all going to...
That's the real thing, right? It's great to have confidence when you come out on the field. It's great to have Lil Wayne there and the celebrities on the sideline and everybody is talking about you and everyone's excited for you and everyone's talking about how much you're going to beat them and you have those other wins. All of that is cool. And then you have to put it into practice. And then you do. And you do it without Travis Hunter, who isn't like losing one player. It's like losing 2 players.
Exactly.
A Heisman candidate on both sides of the ball. Yes. Heisman on this side and on that side. And you still get it done. In a hostile environment where the whole world is watching, even if it's 1 a.m. on the East Coast, everybody stayed up. We saw all the memes. Everyone was watching. And we all know the stakes. And they know the stakes. If they lose this game, this is coming to an end real quick. No, the season's not over, but
the hype is.
Practically speaking, yes, it's over. So all of that together and in that moment to watch them do that, and I don't care who the opponent was, this is a rivalry game, had all the hype in the world, all the trash talk, all the fights before, the fights during, the hits. There's a lot of energy and emotion in here. So to settle down and have that drive like they did in double overtime, and he said it was Brady-like. That's what makes Brady the greatest of all time. You always have to fear. We all agree Brady's the greatest of all time. You have to have the fear that no matter what the circumstance is, we can overcome it. And now they know they can do that.
Yeah, it was a great game for me. I think a lot of people forgot that this is a rivalry. Yeah. Right? I've been in rivalry games.
Speak on it. Speak.
West Virginia was always like the top dog in the Big East. They had all the top players. And I went to Pitt. We weren't as big. You know, a lot of good players, but wasn't as big. And we beat them back and forth. And people couldn't figure out why. It's a rivalry, right? This is what rivalries are built on. And I love this game, just for, you know, Coach Prime and Colorado, just because being in a game with adversity, right? Like, our best player gets hurt. Boom. Offense and defense, he gets hurt. And how will we respond? Who's going to make the big play on defense? Because normally, Travis makes that play. Yeah. So Shiloh Sanders makes that play. Pick 6, boom, to the crib. Bang, like his daddy.
Crib.
Games like this where the other stars have to step up when the big guy's gone. Forced fumble, the same player.
Yep.
Sanders forces the fumble, and they get the ball back, right? That's one part. Another thing is, like, watching the last 98-yard drive that Shedeur Sanders did, that's what makes a great team. Man. All right, when the things is bad, guys not catching the ball, we're getting sacks, defense not playing up to par. What happens? A special player takes him 98 yards for a touchdown. Yeah. That's what builds great games. And then the last thing is this. Watching the whole college, weekend. I never was like big on college football, but Deion got me back looking at college again. And a lot of the big time schools that were favored high struggled. For example, Florida State was ranked third, right? They snuck a win out of Boston College by two. Right? You got Kansas State, who was top 15. Yeah. They lose to Missouri.
Overtime.
Georgia.
Yeah, trailing South Carolina.
Was losing, came back and won by only 10. Yeah. And then the last one is Bama. Even though they're going up and down with the quarterback, they play South Florida.
But I don't think...
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think people understand this Travis Hunter situation. You lose a guy on defense, a star player, a lot of stuff changes. We can't call these certain coverages without Buddy here.
That's true.
You talking about on both sides. You got the offensive coordinator saying, Travis ain't here, I can't call these certain plays. Now we on the defensive side. Travis, dang, we can't go man-to-man as much as we want to go man. Like, we can't like, that is a big blow, So when you were watching that game, you've seen a lot of things change when he went out the ball game, strictly because he's so special on both sides of the ball.
Let me say, my biggest takeaway was we got to see Deion Sanders coach, and he coached masterfully. You never really get to tell what a head coach is doing during a game. Offensive coordinators are calling plays, defensive coordinators are calling plays, but you never really get to see what in the world is the coach doing. If you weren't paying attention, let me remind you, down by 7, the Colorado offense could not do anything right. Deion Sanders, the team had driven, they're at the 2-yard line, 4th down. Do you go for it? You take the points. Prime said, okay, down by 7, I'm going to take the point.
He did.
14 minutes left. Okay, now it's 7 minutes left. You down by 11. Your offense still can't do nothing. What do you do?
To the points.
Prime said, you know what? I'm going to take the points. Once again, Prime, he takes the points. But then this is where it got real interesting. Prime had to bench his starting kicker because his starting kicker shanked one. If he doesn't make the decision to bench his starting kicker, the backup kicker had to make 2 field goals, not even counting the extra points. 3 things Prime has already done as a head coach I'm not sure everybody else would do. But then here's the most important one nobody's talking enough about. In college overtime, if you win the toss, do not receive. Under no circumstance, if you win the toss, do you start with the ball. Here's why, America. If you start with the ball and you get 3 points, the team that goes after you, they realize they just need to get 7 and they win. Under no circumstance do you start with the ball if you win the toss. Prime started with the ball. And post-game, he said, I wanted the ball in my son's hands because I wanted to make sure he put pressure on Colorado. I didn't care about the analytics. I wanted Shedeur to be the one to get the ball. 4 coaching decisions that Deion Sanders made from the 4th quarter on that I surmise no other head coach would have made all 4. Some other coaches would have made 1 or 2. No other coach in all of college, in my mind, would have made all 4.
I ain't gonna lie.
You see the chills? Look at the chills.
I was screaming at the TV, what you doing, Prime? Why are you taking the ball? I'm just saying, if he goes down here and say he shanks a field goal, now all they got to do is get 3. Not only that, if they go down, if you say you defer and Colorado State gets it and scores, now you have 4 downs to get up in there. So when he took the ball, I'm like, what you doing, man?
You're still doing it.
But no, that's the right thing to do, Shady.
Time out. I thought we was past
We
this.
are.
In week 1, you didn't believe. And now we in week 3, you still not believing.
I believe, but I'm just like, as a coach, Prime,
listen. I'm going to say it again.
Talk to me.
Listen. Week 1, you didn't believe. You got to believe.
I believe.
You told me
I'm saying in that moment, it was a head scratcher.
You told me you believe, but you saying you don't believe. No. I need you for next time when that happens. I believe what Coach Prime's doing.
I believe in Prime,
I believe what he's doing.
I was a head scratcher like Coach Prime. Come on.
The thing about it, Joy, was like, it was almost like Deion Sanders chose not to be the house. Like when you're playing, you play cards. When you play blackjack, the advantage is because the dealer doesn't have to hit until you make your decision.
No question.
And if you bust, they don't even have to do anything.
You lose.
You lose.
Give me the cards up.
Like Prime
Give me your money.
Prime won, and they said, hey, you can be the house or you can be a player.
No question.
And he said, I'm going to be a player, and I'm still going to be the house. Joy, to me, it really was like, this dude is coaching. He coached.
And we don't always get the opportunity to see that, and we don't get to see it against teams that are necessarily lesser opponents, which, let's be honest, they played up to their competition, Colorado State did, because Colorado is the more talented team and came in with more of the hype, and they had lost terribly the week before. Like, there's no reason that Colorado State should have looked the way that they did, other than, of course, it being a rivalry game and, weird stuff happens. They were the better opponent, and they played up. And kudos to them, because they did play a good game in a big moment. But this is what creates the belief in your team. And he took the risk and it paid off. Now, he admitted there was a moment where he was like, oh, we can't let it go down like this.
I was surprised he said that.
100%.
I'm not because, you know why I'm not? Because Prime was a player.
Yeah.
So he knows the energy that all of those players are feeling. He knows he can handle the press conference and he can handle the criticism, and he's going to have the ability to stand up there and say what he needs to say. But all those players, not at the hands of the men leading those teams in Prime and Norvell, put a lot of extra pressure on a situation that already had a lot of pressure on it. So you got to go out there and deliver.
And real quick, his son though.
Which one?
Shador. Oh my
Shiloh went crazy.
He went crazy, but I'm just talking about the confidence and the poise of Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
Like he's been there before. He joked about the Brady thing. I get it. But that's how Brady really is. That's what makes him different from Aaron Rodgers.
Special.
And you look at Shador, it's like, yo, he looks so calm. Bet. We down? Cool. Boom, bang, bang. Then when he scored, like, yeah, bang, hello. I love that.
Put it in context. I know we got to go, but this game really, if you really put it in context, I was rewatching it this morning, only that last Shador drive. You got to go 98 yards.
98?
You got to go 98. But here's the kicker. You're not down by 7. You're not down by 6. You're not down by 3. You're down by 8.
Yeah.
What did we see yesterday with the Denver Broncos? Russell Wilson mad the Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
But you got to get the 2.
Got to get the 2.
Or the Hail Mary is meaningless.
Doesn't even matter.
You got to get the 2.
Matter.
Going 98 is meaningless unless you get the 2. So not only did Shador go 98, but then the poise and the calm to realize if I don't get the 2, then 98 is meaningless.
Got the 2 twice, though. Then Prime go to overtime. He take the ball, which he shouldn't. Go down there and score, and then say, I'm going for 2 again. All right, Prime. Hey, do you?
Absolutely amazing.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.